Ocean monuments pose an interesting and often deadly challenge for those seeking the treasures within, whether it be for the blocks themselves, sponge for large scale water drainage, or as the first step on a journey towards a full scale project. Every monument houses three Elder Guardians which must first be defeated. Hello, Internet. My name is Critias, and today I'll teach you my go to way of clearing out an ocean monument quickly and relatively safely in what I call the commando method. But before we do that, we must first understand the hows and the why. So each Elder Guardian has an inherent inbuilt ability called mining fatigue, which will prevent you from being able to break blocks while under its effect, which is quite lengthy. This is intended to force the player to swim through the monument rather than busting in through the sides. There are ways around that, however, and we're going to go over that now. You're going to need blocks of TNT for this, and then either solid blocks such as dirt, easily disposable, and a redstone block, at least one for each piece of TNT, or sand or gravel and a flint and steel. We're also, of course, going to be underwater, so water breathing potions are a must. Night vision if you require the extra visibility, and we'll be doing this naked, so invisibility is key. Invisibility does not work how it says on the box, unfortunately. It does not make the player truly invisible, but instead reduces the distance at which mobs can detect the player, which is increased for each piece of armor you wear. So, in order to make this potion the most effective, you typically are naked. Some people have said that a single piece is fine. I don't see the method being any better with armor than without, and I've never done it myself, so I usually go in naked. I do tend to fly over the monument and then take the wings off to drop straight in, unless the monument itself is quite close to land, in which case you can simply swim in. We also have got a bucket of milk for removing potion effects and the mining fatigue, and some doors for emergency water air pockets. So we're just going to do this on the fly. We're going to go in with one of each of our potions and have the backups ready. Now each Elder Guardian is located in the same place on every monument, in the top room and at the front of each of the two wings. We just have to get in. It's important to note also that the Guardians themselves, the Elder Guardians, will drop the armor trim for Tide, I believe it's called, but they will not drop it if you're running a resource pack, which many favor for things like dropping mob heads when killed. If you are running one of these popular data packs, you may wish to disable it for this for your runs until you have at least one armor trim for duplicating. So TNT can bypass the mining fatigue, which we haven't got yet, strangely enough. And you can do that in a number of different ways. We're going to do the first method, which is the sand method. I'm using gravel for this. You place the block, place the gravity block on top, light it, and vamoose. The Elder Guardian should be right inside. There he is. Now, like all Guardians, the Elder also has... Oh, hello. Also has spikes which will cause damage to the player if you hit him while they're out. So I typically use a bow. The range is drastically reduced while underwater, but it's still effective. We use a secondary approach now. Place the TNT, surround it with a solid block, and place the redstone block on top. The redstone charge will light the TNT, and you can swim right in and fetch your redstone if you wish. And here's our big fish. Here's the spikes out. If you have a trident, it's ideal. If you have a sword, swing away, but just be warned. that you will take thorns damage while those spikes are out. The third and final guardian is always located in this top room. Now I prefer the dirt method because it gives me disposable blocks that I can use inside if I ever have to try and break line of sight with a guardian. In the case of something going wrong, I think it's always a good idea to have a plan B, especially if you're playing on hardcore, where you cannot afford mistakes. There we go. Third one down. All 3 guardians defeated. Once you've taken out all 3, we still have 3 minutes remaining on mining fatigue. We can use this time to swim through the monument and search for the sponge rooms if there are any. Now, it's important to note that the inside of a monument is always random. The outside shape will be the same each time, but the inside can vary tremendously. With one unifying factor is that the sponge rooms will always generate on the second, middle floor, and the topmost floor, because the entrance to a sponge room is always on the bottom. So they cannot generate on the ground floor of the temple. Now that we've got the things situated, let's use a cheat cam, as many call it. I'm just going to block myself in here for now and create a water pocket. Okay, let's go to free cam. So we're currently on the what I call the middle floor, where we have a sponge room here. Looks like we've got another one right over here. That's awesome. There's usually just the one. It's very rare to get more than 2 anyway. You can see that the rooms are a jangled mess. It can be very discombobulating, very confusing. You can easily get lost and drown while in these, so I always take at least 2 potions. So it looks like we've got the room I'm in and a second, and I don't think there's another sponge room present. All sponge rooms will have a dark prismarine border. Oh, there's a third. Okay, we've got excellent one here. So each sponge room will have somewhere in the vicinity of about half a stack of sponges, something like that, or 20 odd. And each monument will always have this chamber. This is what we call the treasure room. Inside this block of dark prismarine is 8 gold blocks. So if you're collecting gold, by all means have at it. But the main thing I come here for is the sponge. So once we've identified a sponge room, we either have to wait for the mining fatigue to expire, or you could drink a bucket of water to disable the mining fatigue, but it will also strip away your potions. So I always bring a second batch. You'll want a hoe for this. Let's go ahead and put in the shovel here. I'm just going to wait for this to expire since it's almost up. And then once the mining fatigue has expired, you can, of course, break as many blocks as you want and acquire all of the sponge by ripping through this place to quickly bypass the maze-like interior. Okay, just make sure you swim along the ceiling because the sponges will kind of bob up into the top there. And we'll go ahead and just leave that door there. Now the next sponge room was back this way somewhere, I think. There's a dark prismarine. And here we go. So I place my backup potions on my hotbar there. Keep a close eye on the top right corner of your screen, which shows your potion effects. When you see them start to blink, it's time to re-drink. And I think the last one was back through that way, so we can bust through this wall. Here's the treasure room. Your inventory will get very full doing this, so just be advised, you want to make sure you've got room for everything. Now, what happens if the worst happens and you run out of potion effects while inside, or you don't bring any backups? I would recommend you bail immediately. Dig out through the walls if you got your mining fatigue removed. We already have a full stack. And there goes our potions. So we re-drink, night vision, water breathing, invis, and we keep going. If you still have mining fatigue and you still haven't gotten out yet, I'm afraid it's the end for you. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to escape. The potions will give you 8 minutes if you extend all 3 with a redstone added to your potion brewing. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you know all about how to make the potions, what ingredients go into it. But if not, I can give you a quick rundown. But yeah, we're just going to bust out through the wall here. Now you will break blocks faster if your feet are planted on solid ground. But there we are, busted in and out, got our goods and got out again with a stack and almost a half again of sponge. You will get them wet. They always come wet, but you can dry them out by furnacing them or by placing them on the roof of the nether. They'll dry out instantly and just pick them up again with your hoe. So that's it. If you need potion ingredients, there are places you can look it up online. We can toss out all of the extra stuff, and we got ourselves 3 guardian heads because I run one of those packs myself, and then a fair amount of sponge to add to the collection. That's it. That's it. We're done. Commando finished in 8 minutes plus explanation or whatever. I have done this in under 5, so have fun, enjoy, and yeah, get spongy. Okay, worst case scenario. You're inside the temple, the 3 Elder Guardians have been defeated, but you don't know the way out, and potions are almost expired. First things first, keep calm. It's easier said than done. But you want to find yourself a nice quiet corner, if possible. Block off an area 3 blocks high. With dirt. And then break the block above your head to create a air pocket. Let me just grab it. I don't have a torch, never mind. Create an air pocket above your head. And then remove the blocks from the top down. So you have a space to breathe. Now you have yourself some breathing room. With mining fatigue gone, if your potions are expired, you will be visible. The first thing you want to do is put your armor on immediately. This will buy you critical time from your enchantments to resist against the eye beams. Then it really doesn't matter which way you go from here. Pick a direction. If you have free cam, and it is a cheaty method, but if you have it, find the shortest way out. I'm just going to pick this way. You want to bust a hole and just start swimming in a straight line. You will hear the sounds of the beams charging up. You may take a tick of damage or 2, but you want to get away from the monument as quickly as you can by the shortest possible route. The guardians themselves do not chase, so they should remain around the monument and you can make a getaway. If you've got anything to break line of sight by swimming under things, around things, do so. The beams require several seconds to charge up before they do damage. It is quite possible to swim out without taking any damage. If you break through the wall and you find yourself just finding more prismarine, then you can always backpedal, take another direction. The monuments themselves are quite small. It's a 4 chunk by 4 chunk building, so it won't require a lot of time to get out. Once you get safely away, then you're free to strap on your wings if you've got them, and make a getaway. I hope that helps. If you do find yourself in that situation, yeah, again, it's a bit of a cop-out, but stay calm. Get yourself an air pocket so time is no longer a factor. And yeah, just find a straight direction and dig out. I hope that helps, and yeah, we'll be heading right home at the moment, and I'll give you a quick potion tutorial if you need one. So 2 potions you will require for an Ocean Monument raid are Night Vision and Water Breathing. Water Breathing is the easy one. You start off with a Nether Wart, and it's the same for Invisibility. So Nether Wart turns it into a Unknown Potion, or whatever it's called. Actually, do you not remember what this is called? Awkward Potion, right. So Awkward Potions do nothing. So by adding a Puffer Fish, you will turn that into a Water Breathing Potion, and by adding a Golden Carrot, you will turn this into a Night Vision Potion. The old adage being that, or the old wives' tale being that carrots are good for your night vision. I think this is what Mojang were going for here. So a puffer fish can be found by fishing or by swimming around in any warm ocean. You'll get a 3-minute potion effect from that by adding a piece of redstone. This will extend to 8. And by adding a fermented spider eye to a potion of night vision, it'll turn it into invisibility. So to make a fermented spider eye, you'll need, of course, a spider eye and a piece of sugar and a brown mushroom, which combined to make a fermented spider eye. So here's our water breathing potions, 8-minute duration, and night vision should turn into invisibility, and again we can extend this one with redstone into 8 minutes. The other potion that I sometimes use is, of course, the night vision. So you would just brew up another potion with a golden carrot. If you're raiding one at night and you want some visibility while on the approach or exit, although the monument itself is quite well lit, so it's not mandatory. There you go. There's our 3 potions of invis. I usually go in with 2. By all means, take a 3rd. Even a 4th if you're feeling nervous. It's all about the survivability. Once you've done a few of them, you should get a lot more comfortable with it, and you can break in, get what you need, and get out with only a single potion and 1 re-equip. There you go. I hope that was informative. Good luck, enjoy your treasure hunting, and I'll see you in the next one.